Hi guys, Daviana here with Pilates with Davi, and today I kind of wanted to do a little review on a very up-and-coming brand called Elliosa, and it's a sticky sock brand in the Pilates community. I don't know if it's all the rage in your community, but I had a couple clients mention it to me, and one of them actually gifted it to me. Thank you, Michelle. And what's unique about these Pilates socks is that there's not only grippies on the outside, but there's grip on the inside, which is like such a needed thing. I'm surprised that there aren't more like well-known designer brands in the Pilates sock world doing something like this, but it's totally worth it, the money, I think. But I haven't tried them yet, so I kind of want to do an honest review. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. They don't. I'm not collaborating or affiliated with them by any means, but yeah, as a Pilates instructor, I've been in the industry about 10 years, and this kind of stuff is really important to me because, you know, in terms of hygiene in a studio, it's nice to have Pilates socks. And also, you know, it's a kind of a fun personality thing. You kind of get to express yourself with your different Pilates socks and all the different types of fabrics and brands and all that. But anywho, trying to do an honest review. I'm going to try some, you know, kind of grippy sock required exercises or things that the grippy socks really are helpful for. And see how it goes. So yeah, the brand is called Elliosa. And again, it has grips on the outside and also on the inside, which is pretty sweet. So thank you, Michelle. I'm excited to try these out. Let's see how they fit, how they feel. Now, I really love this kind of ankle sock version of the grippy socks. When I first started my teacher training, these were kind of like, or ballet slippers and like that kind of stuff was the thing, you know, the low ankle socks. But you know, the more I got into Pilates and the more experience I got, the ankle sock versions just seemed more secure in general. But I can already tell right now that these are pretty high quality. They're definitely like, you can't really feel the grip inside of the sock, which is nice. That was kind of my concern, is that like immediately would feel like sticky and clammy in there and like the sweat would stick to it. Although I just taught a class, a mat class, so you know, they don't feel like weird and swampy in there, which is nice after teaching a class. But yeah, this actually feels really secure right off the bat. So I'm gonna try a couple exercises on the machines just to see how these grippy socks hold up and how supportive they feel, if the kind of inside stickiness really makes a big difference. So let's check it out, let's try it. All right, so we're gonna start with a more advanced exercise like the snake and the twist, because that really requires some good grip with the feet. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So we're starting off tough here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my foot onto here. Make sure my brace is out of the way. Okay. Yeah. You know, I only have my big toe and my second toe on there, which is actually working out pretty okay. There's a little twist here, which is kind of scary, but it's been a while since I've done this. I had a baby like 10 months ago, so it's probably been like over a year since I've done something like this actually. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's actually pretty nice. For that kind of exercise, yeah, I really like these socks. Actually, I'm gonna take my foot to the middle of the carriage, see how that grip feels, see if it moves my sock around a little bit. Cool is it doesn't feel like it bunches up in my toes, so I like that. Yeah, those feel pretty good. Let's see, so let's go in for like maybe a heavy, like double red elephant here. See if that moves my socks a little bit. So actually I'm feeling quite a bit of like, yeah, it is actually pretty supportive, which I really enjoy. Like this is one of those exercises where socks tend to slide. Kind of a little bit of an abduction move. So usually that planted sock or that planted foot tends to kind of shift or move. The tactile sensation in my toes isn't really like different. I feel like I can really grip the floor too. Like there's not a whole lot of fabric between my foot and the floor. So that's actually pretty nice. I really like these actually. It almost feels like an extension of my pants, which is actually really nice. I think I'm gonna try a couple things on the tower, like the parakeet, because that is something with the push-through bar that tends to be an issue, is like, you know, I'll typically have clients go barefoot on this one or add a sticky mat to the push-through bar just to keep the grip. So I think I'm gonna try one of those, see how these socks hold up with that. All right, this is always the, ooh, yeah, okay. That's always the iffy part, right? Is pushing the bar down and through. Yeah, I am digging these a lot, actually. So part of the challenge with this exercise is feeling confident with gripping the bar, and it is a lot of footwork, like dexterity and strength here. But like the fact that the grip is good on both the inside of the sock and the outside kind of makes me feel a little bit more confident about this exercise actually. So especially once I'm doing this portion where I peel and lift and I kick one foot off, I feel like I can really hook my toe around the bar. And then also this hamstring curl also feels a little less scary because I know I got a firm grip on that bar. So that's actually really nice. It's interesting how like Pilates socks, like the quality of your socks can really affect the performance here. Ooh, my foot cramped there. But yeah, I feel like it's making me feel a little bit more confident, which I do like a lot. We'll try a little roll up. This is another place where the socks can really make a difference actually. Nice, okay. Stuck on some springs. Yeah, so aside from my feet cramping after teaching an hour-long class, need some water here. I really am digging that. That's pretty awesome. So pros to this socks. They feel pretty seamless. They don't feel like you have like a ton of, plastic in your sock, which is nice. It feels pretty natural. It's not too thick a fabric, so you do feel like you can still really grip the floor with your toes. I still feel like I have that sensation with my toes. And also the ankle high versions are really nice, and I think they kind of have to be that way. But I don't know. I'm not sure if they have shorter options on their website. Again, these were gifted to me, so but they're really nice. Comparing them to a lot of the name brands that I know, like Toe Socks and Tavi, I really like these. As far as like creative options go, there isn't a whole lot of different types of patterns and stuff to choose from. Like here, I just have the plain, tan and white sock here. But yeah, for the most part, they're pretty cool. The grips are cute. They have little hearts on the bottom. I'll show you here. Little hearts on the bottom, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, they're pretty neutral, which is nice. They probably would match with most of my things, most of my outfits. Although I usually wear all black anyways for work, so. But yeah, I'm digging them. I think I might have to get me another pair of these, for sure. They feel good. So yeah, Elliosa, they're a pretty cool brand. I don't know if they're super popular in the Pilates community right now, but I think they should be. They're actually really innovative, and I think kind of a progressive, or an example of how Pilates products and the whole community should evolve over time. So I really like these, and I hope that more people get to know Elliosa brand. I would say the one thing though is maybe some more patterns or more options of types of socks. That's kind of the cool thing about Tavi and Toe Socks, is that you can get all sorts of different types of socks that kind of fit your personality. I'm not a very neutral person, even though I'm wearing all black. I really like, bright colors and funky patterns and stuff, but that's just me. I'm like iridescent girl all the way, holographic. But yeah, so anyways, check out Elliosa. If you haven't seen any of my previous content, definitely check it out. Pilates with Davi. I got Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So check out my stuff, and hope you get to check out some Elliosa brands too.